what up, YouTube family? It's your brother Wati. Wake 'em up, back at it again with another video. If you were an adult during the '08 recession, it's your time to shine right now, because the younger generations, they need advice. So come forward and tell us and everybody else what you did during that recession. How did you survive? What did you do? Now, we're going to watch this video and people are going to share their tips. I want y'all to share them below in the comments as well. And I'm going to share my input because I remember the '08 recession. Even though I was a kid, I remember how it impacted my household. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe. And ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it.
Do you personally expect a recession?
I am going to defer to my economists at this point, but I think probably that's a likely outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because markets, I mean, when you see a 2,000 point decline, it sort of feeds on itself, doesn't it? Because it makes you feel like you're losing money in your 401k, you're losing money in your pension. You got to cut back.
Yeah. I always remind people markets aren't always right, but sometimes they are right, and I think this time they are right because they're just pricing in uncertainty at the macro level and uncertainty at the micro level, at the actual company level. And then how it affects consumer sentiment, it's hard to tell. You know, consumers still have jobs. Wages are going up at the low end, which I think is a good thing. But if companies start cutting back, yeah, the consumer sentiment changes and business sentiment changes. I think you've already seen business sentiment change a little bit.
Someone who was a young 20-year-old who lived through like the 2008, 2009 recession, what did y'all do?
This is an excellent question. I don't think the recession that's about to come will even compare to the one we had back then. And I mean that this one might be worse. When recession number one hit in 2008, I was freshly married. Our rent, I think, was maybe $700 and we were on 2 incomes. So it doesn't feel as hard when you're living with another person. You've got 2 incomes. Than this one will feel. For a lot of you who live alone, fast forward to 2009. I worked at an industry association and a lot of our members were in the automotive industry. We had layoffs. I want to say in the spring of 2009. Fortunately, I did not lose my job, but I think 30% of our staff was cut. Fast forward to summer of 2009, I had just started a new part-time job. So again, money was looking a little funny. I have worked 2 jobs on and off since college. If y'all can get a second job, I would highly recommend it. Recessions are perfect times to pick up a side hustle, a second job. You need a second source of income because if one goes, you can ramp up the other and vice versa. Last thing I'll say about the recession of 2008, 2009 compared to the recession that's coming now is we didn't have all the other noise going on in the background. We still had some hope because my president is black, my Lambo's blue. Like that was the vibes, even though the recession was looking a little shaky. Government programs weren't being cut. Federal workers were still largely safe. It feels vastly different. While as an elder millennial, I've been through a couple of these recessions, I'm gonna just be honest, babes. I don't think any of us other than our grandparents who went through the Great Recession, have any idea of what this is about to feel like. Our advice is not going to help because we haven't been through what we're about to go through collectively.
So Gen Zs are asking millennials how we survived the recession. Well, welcome to 2008. Markets have crashed. You just graduated with all the high hope, having a career in your field. You find out there are no jobs. What do you have to do? You have to move back home with your parents. Last thing any graduate wants to do. Now you're at home trying to fill out application after application after application, and most of those applications were not online. So you have to ask your parents for money just to get gas, to go to those jobs, to fill out those applications. But nobody's hiring, so you're forced to try to find a way to most of them are telling you you're overqualified because you have a college degree. While your parents are looking at you in disappointment, like, why haven't you found a job yet? Why aren't you working harder? Why aren't you trying hard? And you just want to cuss them out. Now you're sitting in the car crying, Four Loko in your hand, trying to figure out what's next. You say, fuck it. You go out free before 11. You get plastered, you come home, your parents are mad at you because you walked in that house late and you have a curfew. And you get up the next day and you start that shit all over again. Until, I don't know, you get a Hail Mary, find a job from a temp agency, nowhere in your field. Your damn degree might as well say made in China. You end up working in a field that you have never been in. You're jumping from temp job to temp job. So someone just says, fuck it, you're worth it, and you're ready to be hired permanently. Then you can start paying off your student loan. Welcome to 2008, and may the odds be in your favor.
I get it, but what do you do in an economy where the temp agencies don't even promise you no job? What do you do in an economy where you can apply and put in 1,000, literally 1,000 applications and still not get called back? What do you do then? Come on now, let me know. Let me know. What do you do? once again, we need input. We need advice, right? What do you do when you can't get a job? Because this is going to be way worse than '08. We're talking about an economy that's already struggling, a job market that's already not promised to get you a job. You finish college and it's like you can't even get a job at all. So what do you do then? We looking for solutions. Drop them below, y'all. What do y'all think?
JP Morgan has predicted a 60% chance of a recession hitting us this summer, and this is how I think that it will impact Houston's housing market. For investors, this is going to be great because there's going to be a lot of people getting laid off and things like that. That always leads to a lot of foreclosed houses being on the market. So you are literally going to see a lot of houses on sale. And for first-time home buyers, I think this is going to be super good for you guys, especially if you have a recession-proof career and you know you won't be affected by this upcoming recession. There are so many incentives for first-time home buyers and the first-time home buying programs. You can literally get into a house with no down payment through a first-time home buyers program. And also, the best part about all of this is the interest rates are predicted to drop to 3.5%. It's not as good as COVID numbers, but it's as close as you're going to get. And I think personally that is great considering the fact that at the beginning of this year, the interest rates were around 6%. Now, for the cost of housing, I don't really see it dropping too much. There will be an influx of supply on the market and a little bit less demand, but because Trump is trying to double down on the tariffs on Canada's lumber, I don't see the prices of housing, especially new builds, dropping too much because we get our lumber from Canada to build new houses. And because of the tariffs, I think he's trying to double it from like 14% to like 25 point something percent. It's going to make new builds around $9,200 more expensive than they were originally. So if you are still confident in purchasing in Houston, Texas, if you are an investor or if you are recession proof, you are a first time home buyer, my name is Chastity. I am a realtor in Texas. You could click the link in my bio, scroll down a little bit, and book a 15-minute consultation call with me, and we can get started on your home search.
Everybody talking about a recession. I'm about to rob y'all legally. I'm about to legally rob y'all. If you have any cash and a recession is on the way, you can legally rob everybody, bro. About to be reselling iPhones like crazy, bro. The first thing people reach for, them old iPhones, they'll give them to you for $50. You turn around, sell them for $150. Don't let them be hurting too bad. They'll sell a current one and go get them a little prepaid. Shit, they'll start financing them, bringing them straight to you, selling them to you for nothing. You start selling them for everything. It's because they need a little cash. I just saw a dude say, the good thing about the recession is that people about to start shacking up and stop arguing about 50-50. That's so funny.
Boy, ain't they? You're going to have to make it work. You know, it's crazy, too. They're saying that for the first time in U.S. history, that two-parent households are becoming more common. People are doing what they have to do. So people might hate each other, but they stand with each other because they need each other. They need two incomes. So that's about to start happening. Yeah, the debate over 50-50 about to be done. And he's saying, he about to start robbing people, meaning he about to start getting those iPhones for the low. Fun fact, I used to post Craigslist ads and I would flip iPhones. I remember one time I got down to my last 500 and that's how I flipped back up to like 1,500. Then they started taking all my ads down. But the thing is, I would post Craigslist ads saying I buy used phones and broken phones. And people would hit me up. And this is something you could do too, either Facebook groups, Craigslist, whatever. I would let them hit me up and I would say, send me a picture of the phone for a quote. When they would send the picture of the phone, I would say, how much would you expect to get for this phone in this condition? It might sound crazy. It might sound a little aggressive, like, how much you expect to get for this phone in this condition? I don't know. Maybe it scared people. Maybe my approach was crazy, but it worked. People be like, give me $20. I'm like, bet. People be like, give me 50. I'd be like, I give you 40. Bet. Then I go and flip those phones and make $150 profit, $100 profit, anywhere in between. So yeah, this is going to become a new hustle. And now it's going to be a time to buy everything on discount. So if you got a little cash, keep it in the stash and go ahead and pull it out. They saying this summer, if the recession hit this summer, you might be able to make a new stream of income for yourself. Buying the things that other people need to get rid of. You can get some crazy deals.
Something fucking scary just happened to me at the Walmart, and I don't even know how I feel right now. Like, I'm literally shaking. I'm hiding in the aisles because it's two people that approached me on some weird shit. Yeah, be careful out here. Let me show you my cart before I even explain the story. Let me show you the cart. This is my cart. Dog food for my dog. 2 cases of water. It's not even a lot of food. Does this look like a lot of food? Like, this is not a lot of food, right? So I am picking up stuff to put in my car so I could like hurry up and go home. And this guy is like, okay, I thought it was him. This guy is like, must be nice. So I'm like, what you mean? He was like, look at your card. You must be blessed. I am blessed, but the cart is not, let me show y'all again. The cart is not even that full. Like, what? Then I'm like, okay. So I continue to go to the next aisle, pick up some things. And then this lady was like, my gosh, your cart is so full. What? Are we in like some type of, I know we're going through a recession, but my heart is racing. Can y'all see it? Do y'all see? That was so scary. Y'all, like I said, be careful. They watching your carts. People are going to outside of supermarkets and they're literally watching your carts to see what you put in your carts. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. People are literally watching your cart to see what the fuck you put in your cart. What, that's supposed to make me feel like I'm rich or something? I'm not rich. I'm fabulous, but I'm not rich. Y'all be careful. Like, they watching everything. People are plotting. It's a recession. It's a lot of bad things going on. People are watching to see what you shopping, what you doing, how much money you spending. That's scary.
5 more prepping items that you can keep on hand to help counteract some of this recession prices. Let's get to it. You got your rice and your beans. I don't know how many times I got to say that. Make sure you go and check my bio out because I do teach how you can preserve those and they can last up to 30 years, which is phenomenal. Number 3, you're going to want to learn how to do this. Can your own food. Be able to preserve food for a very long time. I do teach that here on my page and I do teach it on other social media links, which is more in depth. So I recommend you go and check out my bio on that. Number 4, you're going to want to get your olive oils. Okay. Olives had the worst growing season for this year's harvest because of heat and freezes. So olive oil prices are going to go up even if there is tariffs or if there isn't tariffs. And if you use olive oil, my family does, your prices, it's going to hurt. Number 5, if you have been holding off on key prepping items such as your solar generators, solar panels, your solar inverters, you're going to want to do that now. I'm going to tell you right now, those prices, if they go up 125%, that's going to hurt worse than they already hurt right now. So just make sure that you are hitting these 5. I left 4 of them for your pantry and 1 of them as your major prepping item.
A recession is coming. The signs are there, especially after seeing that JP Morgan analysts raised their forecast to 60%. 60%. And there are some things that you can do to prepare for what's coming. Number 1, stop buying shit that you don't need. It is time to cut overconsumption and hold on and take care of the things that you already have. And if you do have to buy something, buy locally. Check Facebook Marketplace first. Take good care of the car that you currently have and keep up with the maintenance. Cut out unnecessary subscription services. Prioritize home cooked meals instead of going out. It is healthier for you anyways. You can start by starting a menu, a meal plan every Sunday that tells you exactly what you're going to cook every day, and then buy your groceries according to that. Focus on buying only what is absolutely necessary. Everything else can wait, and you probably don't need any more junk anyways. Clean your house so you're more comfortable staying home. Make your coffee at home. There are so many amazing and easy recipes that are so much better and healthier for you than that $7 coffee that you keep buying. Download a library card app. There are hundreds of free ebooks that you can read. Simplify your skincare routine. According to my dermatologist, all you need is prescription tretinoin, a good moisturizer, and a good SPF. You don't need a 5 to 10 step skincare routine. Join local buy nothing groups on Facebook. Plus, it's a good way to declutter your house and help someone else in need. Remind yourself that you don't need new decoration for every single holiday. I know Easter is coming up. Reuse the bunnies, reuse the Easter egg. You don't need a new bunny centerpiece every single Easter. If you're someone who gets dopamine from online shopping, apply a policy to yourself in which you wait 3 days before you check out of your cart. So you have to keep the things that are in your online cart for a minimum of 3 days. When you come back to it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have changed your mind about a few things, or you will have realized that you need none of it because the clothes that you already have is good enough. Delete all the shopping apps from your phone and start downloading couponing apps. These are apps that help you save money on groceries and everyday essentials. Find other ways to get dopamine, like exercising. You can work out at home, you can go on a walk. Online shopping or shopping in stores for unnecessary stuff is done. Groom your own pets, do your own nails, buy in bulk when things are in sale. Stop giving into consumerism and focus on paying off debt instead of creating more debt. And if you've already paid off all your debt, use your disposable income to put it into a saving, preferably a high yield savings. And if you think you have money and disposable income, no, you don't. Pretend that you don't. That's what I do. I paid off all my debt and I pretend and live like if I'm broke. And that mindset is what has helped me build a really good savings. This is also a good time to have multiple sources of income. And remember that everyone is paying the price. You are not alone.
I do the same thing. I'm always broke, even when I'm not broke. Everybody broke is a different broke. Some people, when they broke, they have $0. They might be living off credit cards and actually be in debt, going into, putting themselves in debt or asking to borrow money from other people. But if you always live like you broke and you always budget every single dollar, you check your bank account every single day, then you'll be better off than somebody that never checks their bank account. Some people never check their bank account because they're scared to see the balance. Some people never check their credit because they don't want to see how bad it is, right? They don't want to see how much debt they're in. They don't want to know how bad they're doing. But when you are actually paying attention to the T, then you'll be more well off. It's time to budget. I say this all the time. Budget, 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 so that you can have money to invest as well as so you can have money to save. Save, because your savings might have to save you.
Here are some recession survival tips that have nothing to do with money. I promise they exist. Number 1, live in the moment. And by this, I don't mean your phones. I mean whatever you're feeling, feel it. This is where you have to embrace the cringe. Cringe keeps you from feeling things. If you are so worried about what anybody's going to think, you don't have time to feel pure joy. And you know what? Things suck in a recession. They suck. So you got to take the joy when you can get it. You might only have one bright spot in your day, and you have to make that carry you for 24 hours. So whatever you're feeling in that moment, embrace it. And if it's cringe, who cares? Because at least you're finally being authentic. Number 2, embrace things. Say yes to things. Just say yes to things. Now for us, those things did tend to involve a lot of alcohol and a lot of waking up in strange places, but you don't have to do that. But say yes to things. Try new things. Get outside your comfort zones. If you talk to most millennials, we have lived 1,000 lives because you know what? We just said yes to things. Do you want to go with these random people that we just met and go on an adventure? Yes. It doesn't have to be that extreme. Hey, do you want to go to this hike with me? Yes. Hey, do you want to go check out this new bookstore with me? Yes. Hey, do you want to come over and try to do this recipe with me even though you don't cook? Yes. Say yes to things. Get outside your comfort zone. I too am an introvert, but you can always go home. You can always go back to your curated space. But until you branch out and do something new, you're not going to make it far in this recession. That also ties back into number 1, because when you try new things, you're going to suck at them probably. You're going to be goofy. You're going to look silly. You're going to be cringe. But you're going to finally have some fun. And one of the most important ones, move your body. I am serious. Move your body. Millennials, we were always moving. We were dancing. We were running around playing sports. We were hanging out outside. Your body, like moving around, that naturally helps us with serotonin production, with dopamine production, and we all need that. So not only is moving your body free for now, it is completely accessible. Anybody, even if you have mobility issues, can move your body. If you can dance in a car, You can dance in a chair. What are we doing? We're living in the moment, embracing new things, rejecting cringe culture. We are saying yes to trying new things, and also we are moving our bodies, both for the strength to be able to do it, but also for the pure joy and dopamine, and because F40.
If you were an adult during the 2008 recession, can you tell me if my plan is good or not, or if I need to reconsider some things? I, number one, would like to have $25,000 to $30,000 liquid in a high yield savings account. I have about $18,000 right now, and I originally set my goal for $20,000, but I feel like I need to increase it because of the current job market. It was already bad, but now people are being laid off and they're flooding the market, and I feel like it's going to take people about a year, if not longer, to secure jobs with great pay in their fields. And yeah, I just don't have time. Number two, I'm probably going to roll back my 401k and my Roth IRA contributions just because I want to get rid of all consumer debt that I have, including my credit cards and my car loan, because I just don't want to go into a pending recession, because I feel like this one's going to be worse than before with any debt, because I feel like I'm going to come out of it with more. I'm not worried about student loans, so don't even ask. Number three, my plan is to stop going to big box grocery stores so I can start keeping more control over the money that I'm spending on groceries. Thankfully, Dallas has a lot of produce markets, so I'll go and get my supplies from there, because I feel like I need to start training myself to cost cut in any type of way. But just let me know. This is really the basis of my plan, but tell me what I should be doing. Tell me if it's good. Tell me if I should reconsider some things. Let me know.
Millennials, what were we doing during the 2008 recession? I'll tell you what I was doing. I happily working crappy retail jobs, making just barely above minimum wage, living at home with my parents, of course. And on the weekends, I was putting on business casual outfits and going to house parties. And at these house parties, there was no food, of course not. What we did have is a concoction called Jungle Juice. And what Jungle Juice is it's every cheap liquor that you can think of, a plethora of mixers, and if you're lucky, ice. And all of these things were combined in a large container, either a cooler, a trash can, someone's bathtub. And we would pour all the alcohol in, mixing everything together, and then drinking that until you black out. If you happen to know someone who is just independently wealthy, you might get invited to a house party in which there was not Jungle Juice, but instead UV Blue and Sprite, or Burnett's vanilla vodka with Pepsi or Diet Coke, or, you know, the cola of your choice. Did we live through it? Yes. Were we thriving? Pop music was thriving. The rest of us, we were blackout.
This the second person saying get drunk. Everybody was getting drunk in 08? This is a real question. I'm serious about this. Was everybody getting drunk in 08? Did everybody become alcoholics in 08? So everybody drunk their pain away? That's not good advice. The problem's still going to be there when you get from being drunk, when you wake up. I don't think that's good advice. You spending all your money on alcohol. The money you don't have is going on liquor. I wouldn't advise that. But y'all let me know. This is a serious question. If you were living through the 08 recession, and you were an adult, was you getting drunk? You was getting hammered. You was getting hammered, huh? Everybody became alcoholics. Seemed like AA probably went through the roof.
If we are truly going into a recession, the fact of the matter is that recession is not going to impact people in the same way. For example, low income and middle class families are going to be impacted when it comes to day-to-day life, like groceries. In my last video, I talked about perishable items that you can buy in bulk or on sale and put in your freezer and save in case things get a little bit dicey month to month. And today, I'm going to be telling you about things that you should maybe be stocking up on when it comes to your pantry. First one, oatmeal. Stop buying cereal, start buying oatmeal. Not only is oatmeal way healthier for you and your family, it is way more cost effective to buy oatmeal. Plus, 2 pounds of oatmeal is going to last you a lot longer than a box of cereal. This next one is not only going to save you money, it is going to save you space in your pantry. If you haven't already, hit the follow button, like this video, save it, and share it so you can find it later. And if you have any tips or tricks of your own, be sure to drop them in the comments. Bouillon cubes are going to save you so much money and so much space. Do these instead of buying cartons of chicken broth and beef broth, because one bouillon cube is worth 1 cup of broth. And you can stock these up in your pantry great shelf life, way less expensive than buying broth, and it saves you a ton of space. Next up is beans. When I say have beans in your pantry, I don't mean have 5 or 6 cans. I mean have between 10 and 20 bags of dried beans. Dried beans have a longer shelf life, they're easier to store, and they're less expensive than buying cans. Rice is pretty self-explanatory, but make sure that you have plenty of it on hand. Treat pasta just like you treat the beans. Don't have 1 or 2 bags of it shoved in a corner somewhere. Buy it on sale, buy it in bulk, and get all different kinds of noodles. If we haven't met already, my name is Lydia Kyle, and be sure to head over to the comments to see if there's any tips or tricks that other people have shared that I didn't.
This recession gonna show a lot of colors. People about to start moving strange. And listen, don't get discouraged. The recession gonna hit everybody. It's gonna hit everybody. I'm saying, like, people got to start talking to you when you ain't never even talked to them before. And then once you get to talking to them, yo, can I hold 200? What? Laces about to start lifting. Shoes about to start looking busted. You know what I'm saying? A lot more people about to start walking, taking the buses. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You just gotta get how you get it. You know what I'm saying? Is the crime rate gonna go up? Hunger rate gonna, homelessness is gonna be a whole lot. It's gonna be a whole lot of adjustment because shit is wild right now. What do you think? You think we ain't gonna go to the wilderness? It's gonna get hectic, and don't let Instagram fool you. People is really struggling. I don't care how good it look on the internet. You can make anything look like anything on the internet. That Ferrari he got to go back on Wednesday. Don't forget that.
Hey y'all, so I called my daddy the other day because I don't know why, but a light bulb clicked in my head and I was like, oh my God, my daddy was here when the 2008 recession happened. So let me figure out how did he get through it? And y'all, when I tell you, I did not expect him to say this. He said, shit, ain't nothing happened to me. Get your ass and go to work. I did not expect him to say that. I thought he was going to give me some words of encouragement or whatever. He was like, no, get your ass and go to work.
In 08, I remember mass layoffs happening. I remember my pops losing his job. I remember my Dukes having to become the breadwinner at that time until he got a job. I remember them saying, look, we ain't going to be going out to eat like that, like we used to. We're not going to be going out to eat. And us going out to eat, we wasn't going to no extravagant restaurants. We was going to the Chinese buffet. That was luxury to us, right? But that had to slow down. Listen, we ain't going to be going to the Chinese buffet no more. None of that. We're not going to be going to Old Country Buffet. Drop a comment below and let me know if y'all remember Old Country Buffet. They don't got one no more in the state I'm from. I don't know if they closed them all down. I think they did. But Old Country Buffet used to be clutch. I'm not going to lie. That was considered luxury to me. I used to love Old Country Buffet. Let me know. In 08, did you have to slow down on going out to eat? But her pops must have had either a good job or he was already prepared or he was well off for the recession not to really do nothing to him. He wasn't bothered by it. He told me just go to work. Let me know too. I want to know this as well. Did the 08 recession not bother you? Did it not affect you? If it didn't, we want to hear a comment from you. What did you do prior to the recession to be prepared for the recession to the point it didn't even, it didn't bother you?
So I was talking to my dad this weekend about the stock market crash, and he was like, you should really consider like investing in stocks right now, because I remember back in 2008 when that financial crisis happened, I considered buying stocks at the time, but I just didn't do it because I was going through the process of tenure at university. He worked as a scientist, so he was just really busy with work and he never got to it. And he was like, I kick myself for it every single day, because if I had bought the stocks that I was considering at the time, I would be like a multimillionaire right now. So I was like, okay, you have my attention. I talked in the video before this about how recessions always increase the gap between the rich and the poor, and access to information about what decisions you need to be making is kind of the mediator as to whether or not you will come out of this making more money or have your entire financial life ruined. TikTok has made it easier than ever for us to talk to one another and make access to information about personal finance more accessible for people. So I'm talking to a financial advisor, and this is what I'm doing right now to prepare for the upcoming recession. First things first, before you do any sort of investing or anything crazy, you need to have a high yield savings account where you're putting all of your money. Instead of having savings just sitting in a checking account doing nothing, you can have it in a high yield savings account where it will accumulate money just by like you letting it sit there. And a lot of banks will let you connect it to your checking account so you can all have it in the same app. And allegedly, I didn't look into this, but allegedly it's supposed to be safer than a traditional savings account during a recession. But even if it's not, like it's still accumulating money doing nothing, which is better than just sitting there not accumulating money. And then like outside of that, in terms of investing, everyone's gonna have like a different level of willingness to take on risk. I hate risk. So all of these things that I'm considering doing are like very low risk situations. But the first one is investing in the S&P 500. The S&P has historically gained around 10% every single year. So even if it's down, it's gonna come back up. Specifically Google Walmart stock during recessions. That seems to be like a really good thing to invest in during a recession. And then I'm also thinking about investing in gold to diversify a little bit, and also because it's always going to increase and it operates independent of markets, so it's a lot more stable. Feel free to have discourse about that in the comments and let me know if you have any advice or things that you're investing in.
We don't panic during recessions, we prepare for them. Listen to your millennial friends, especially your frugal ones, because they are the ones that are going to help you survive this fourth or fifth or sixth, whatever once in a lifetime event we are going to experience. Here's my Costco list of the things that I'm going to do. Number 1, you're going to get tuna. Tuna lasts a long time. Tuna is cheap. You can make tuna in different ways. So tuna is good. You don't have a first aid kit already, get one. If you have a bunch of band-aids and stuff already, eyelash. Just make sure you have your basic first aid items somewhere. Good to get Tylenol, get ibuprofen at Costco. It's very expensive already at stores like CVS. Cancel your subscriptions. Need to make some friends. This is the summer where you're gonna make friends. My friend and I share Hulu's subscription. Then my other friend, her and I, we share a Disney Plus. And so start making friends, start bartering, start making alliances with your neighbors. If you're in New York City like me and you think that buying in bulk is too much, it doesn't fit anywhere, again, make friends and split the cost. I split the cost of toilet paper and paper towels with my neighbor. Coffee at Costco. Make sure you get your coffee. It's going to get really expensive. I treat myself. I like my little treats. I'm probably going to still buy myself a little treat here and there. They were $8 before. They're going to get expensive for a little while. One might seem counterintuitive, but if you need to buy clothes, buy quality clothes. Yes, it may cost more, but it's going to last you longer. And when you divide the cost by the number of wears, it is always cheaper. Keep it efficient. I think that's all I have for now. Anybody else, if you have tips, comments, please let us know.
She got a key point, man, because I just bought some cheap clothes and I spent like $300, right? And they already raggedy. They already got, you know how the clothes get the deodorant stains that you can't get out. You know how they get that, you sweat them out and then you can't get the sweat smell out. Listen, I'm not crazy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all have dealt with this too. Y'all done bought cheap clothes before. I'm not the only one. So she right. Get you some quality clothes because they actually do last. See, some people like to shun you. Why would you spend that much on clothes? Because they're going to last. Now I've got expensive clothes too, and they last. I bought them years ago and they still doing me well. So she right. Maybe it's time to go ahead and get those $200 jeans instead of the $20 ones. Maybe it's time to get those couple $100 shoes instead of the discount clearance ones. I done spent $700 on some shoes before. Now, afterwards, I'm like, I shouldn't have did that, but I still got them to this day. Matter of fact, I just cleaned them off and I'm about to wash the shoestrings on them, and they still looking good. So I think she got a solid point right here. It's time to get quality items, whether that be your clothing, everything, just everything. Let's go quality now. It's time to go quality. It's time to spend that extra dollar because we're going to need it to last for a year plus. Drop a comment below, family. Let me know what y'all think. Was this solid advice throughout this video? As well as I want to hear from y'all. What do y'all think is necessary in this day and age right now to survive through this upcoming, I say current, because I feel like we already in a recession /depression, but I'm saying this upcoming recession since they saying it's coming. What should we do? Drop it below, family. And if you made it to the end of the video, comment recession. Peace. And to my Hebrew family, shalom. We out.